Alyce, and I'm here today to talk about 10 spooky books which are still on my TBR. So by spooky books, I mean horror books or thrillers or books that just give me kind of scary, unsettling vibes. I'm joined today by my lovely friends Skeleton and the Grim Reaper, because we're getting spooky on the channel. I mentioned during my TBR that I'm just not really feeling reading at the moment, so I didn't want to do a spooky TBR. I was planning this year to do like 24-hour readathon of just like reading all of the Goosebumps books, but based off of how my brain is working at the moment, well, like all of the Goosebumps, there's like 200, but based off the way that my brain is working at the moment, we would probably only get halfway through one of them. So I thought instead today I would share 10 spooky, thrillery, scary books that I should have probably read already and I haven't read yet. I've tried to pick some that I haven't spoken about on the channel before, I don't think, but I might just be a broken record at this point and you're like, how have you still not read that book? So, without further ado, let me show you some books that I'm hoping to read soon-ish. So to start off with, I'm going to show you 2 library books, because these are the ones that I should probably read soonest, because I have to give them back to the library, and those are The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey and That Night by Julian Mcallister. So as far as I'm aware, The Echo Wife is about a woman whose husband leaves her for her clone? I might be making that up, but that's the vibes that I'm getting from the description. And it's like the same lady twice on the cover. The US cover is like super cool because it's like the wedding ring and it's like a circle and it's all like mirrored. But yeah, I don't know too much about this one, but it's shorter than I thought it was going to be, and I'm interested in it, and I've heard good things about Sarah Gailey's writing. She also did Upright Women Wanted. I read When We Were Magic, actually, and I didn't really love it, and I've forgotten that was the same author, but this is an adult, that was a YA, hopefully I'll love this. Meanwhile, That Night by Julian Mcallister is a thriller about a girl whose sister kills somebody and then she has to like cover it up for her, so it sounds like it's going to be quite thrilling. It takes place at night, so it's going to be a bit dark and gloomy. I read one of Julian Mcallister's other novels, How to Disappear, and I didn't really like it. I said I liked the writing, but I didn't like the plot. So I'm hoping that the plot of this one will grip me a bit more. I'm hoping that the writing will be just as good as it was on How to Disappear. I don't like the fact that the doors clicked when I'm talking about scary books as a spookums. It's fine. Next up, I've got Lord Lost by Darren Shan. I might be reading this one this month because we do have to read a Darren Shan book as part of my punishment pot pick for the TBR. Sean wants to read Cirque du Freak. My friend has recommended Lord Lost instead. Sean really loves Lord Lost, so he can't really be mad about that recommendation. See how it goes. I don't know anything about the Demon Hunter series. I know that it's 10 books long. I know that Sean loves them. But other than that... Oh, when Grubs Grady first encounters Lord Lost and his evil minions, he learns 3 things. The world is vicious, magic is possible, demons are real. He thinks that he will never again witness such a terrible night of death and darkness. He is wrong. This definitely sounds like a good Halloween read. And also, again, super short. That's a good thing. I then have You by Caroline Kepnes. I've wanted to read this for so long. I've got it on my Kindle. I've had it on my Kindle since 2014, I think. And I don't know why I haven't read it yet. I definitely don't know why I haven't read it because there's a water park song that's literally based off of this song. Or like, it's not like based off of the book. It's like it's not even inspired by the book. It's inspired by Austin's own experience. But it has a line in it about you and it makes you want to read it more because I like water parks and I want to watch the show as well, and everybody's going on about it because the 3rd series has just come out, but I just keep putting this one off for some reason. I don't really know much about it. There's a guy called Joe. He's in love with a customer in his bookshop, but then I think he's actually really creepy. I don't know. Find out. I've also got There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This has been recently adapted, is in the process of being adapted, I think, and there's also a sequel out now, which is Blue. I was really excited about this one. I got a proof of it from Yelp and I was really, really pumped, and then a load of people were telling me that it wasn't really a horror and it was more of a romance, and that didn't really surprise me because Stephanie Perkins writes adult contemporaries. She wrote the Anna and the French Kiss series, but I wanted something really scary and I haven't picked it up since because I've been a bit apprehensive after seeing those reviews, but I would still like to read it eventually. I've also got a book that I cannot believe I haven't read yet, and that's Gone Girl by Julian Flynn. Yep, I still haven't read it, so I haven't seen the film either, and everybody has read this book. Like, basically everybody in the entire world. Something happens. His wife disappears. What happened to her? She is a Gone Girl. I don't really know anything about it, apart from the film is Ben Affleck and Neil Patrick Harris, I think. But like, I'm still interested in it. I just feel like the hype kind of scared me off, which is why I didn't read it yet. But I will read it eventually. And I have read The Grown Up by Julian Flynn, which is a really good short story. Not one that I loved, but one that I would recommend. So I'm sure I would like her writing in a longer form. I've also got 2 books by Stephen King, which are Cujo and Sleeping Beauties, which he wrote in collaboration with his son Owen King. Cujo, as far as I'm aware, is about like a mad dog that has rabies and he's terrorising the town. And Sleeping Beauties is about an illness that makes women fall asleep. And when the women fall asleep, like, if they get woken up, then they're rabid, I think. So it sounds like they're actually going to be quite similar, but also different. This one is ginormous. This one is a remarkably small size for a Stephen King book. I want to eventually read all of Stephen King's writing. My friend Gary recently recommended this one to me, and I wanted to read it before that anyway, or I wouldn't have owned a copy. And Cujo's referenced in Friends. That's enough reason for me to want to read it. Then referencing the film, but I can't watch the film until I've read the book, so I need to read the book. And I only managed to find a copy of this recently, like a couple months ago. I don't even know if I've actually hauled this yet. Spoilers? Possibly for my next haul. I can't remember if I've hauled it or not, but I want to read both of them, and they both sound like they're going to be terrifying. I also have Dragonfells by Kim Newman. This is the first book in the Vampire Genevieve series. It's something Warhammery. There's vampires, and you can see it's got like a spooky moon. Sophia loves the spooky moon on this cover. Sean's old boss recommended these, and so we bought the whole set. We still haven't started them. They've got the cool dark red, blood red sprayed edges though, so they are cool. But apparently there are some gratuitous rape scenes in these, so maybe keep an eye out in case that's not something that you're into. I mean, I hope that you're not into that. If you're into that, please get help. But if you are triggered by depictions of those kinds of scenes, then please look at trigger warnings for this one before you pick it up. I think that's mostly what's putting me off on why I haven't read these yet. And last but not least, I've got Skullduggery, Peasant by Derek Clandy. I did mention this one in a recent video because I've only read one of Derek Clandy's novels and it was a 5-star. I read Apocalypse Kings, which was a short story for World Book Day, and I gave it 5 stars, but it's still the only book of his that I've read. I would eventually like to start the Skullduggery Peasant series. Sean has this really cool proof of it that he found in a charity shop, which is like super duper awesome. And I'd like to read them eventually. Nothing could really be scarier than this. There's like a man in a suit, but he's a skeleton. And his name is Skullduggery Peasant. Like, that's so cool. But yeah, I'm hoping I'll love these as well, but I still haven't read these yet either. And those are 10 books on my TBR with spooky themes that I have not read yet. So if you've read any of these books, please hit me up and recommend which one I should start with down below. Preferably one of the library books, or I'll get in trouble by not taking those back when I'm supposed to. And if you like this video, please give it a like. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd be super duper grateful. If you have any spooky recommendations for books that you don't think I've read yet, then please leave them down in the comments, because I would like to read more spooky books at some point. I normally try and read them in October, and apparently this month I'm just not reading anything instead. So sorry about that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Subscribe if you'd like to. We normally post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday if we can get our editing software to actually function. But hopefully we'll be back on schedule for the next few weeks at least. And then it's going to be December, and that's Bookmas, so we're going to be trying to do a video every day again. So plenty of content coming from us very, very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye! Motherfucker. Fuck. Try that one again. That'll do for a thumbnail. Fuck! Not twice! Motherfucker!